All right, today we're diving into what the source material is calling the case of the super shampooed cats. Yeah, it's a story all about ambition, some good old-fashioned kitchen chemistry, and, well, a whole lot of foam, like a catastrophic amount. So, where do we start? Well, with a warning right from our primary test subject, Muffin. This one line pretty much sets the stage for all the chaos that's about to unfold and reminds us that the stakes are pretty high when you're experimenting on feline royalty.
Okay, so first things first, let's meet the team behind this groundbreaking piece of research. Every good story has its key players, so let's introduce ours. So here she is, our lead scientist, Zara. The source material paints her as this really curious 10-year-old with a super bold vision for, the future of cat hygiene. And of course, we have our test subject, Muffin. But listen, she's not just any cat. According to the case file, she secretly believes she's a queen. So yeah, her super high standards make her the perfect, though maybe not so willing, participant in all this. And rounding out our cast of characters, we've got the control group, Mom. Her job here is basically to represent the baseline condition. A normal, peaceful, non-exploding bathroom. It really provides a stark contrast to the chaos Zara's about to cook up. All right, let's get to the heart of it, the experiment itself. We're going to break down the hypothesis, the methods, and everything that led to, well, such dramatic results. So, this was the big idea, the central hypothesis from our lead scientist, and it was pretty ambitious. The goal wasn't just to get the cat clean, oh no. It was to create an entirely new formula, Super Clean Cat Shampoo 3000. So, how'd she do it? The protocol itself seems simple enough, right? Just 3 steps. But this is classic chemistry. Zara is about to mix baking soda, which is a base, with some of the acidic stuff you find in shampoo and bubble bath. And as you're about to see, that combo is basically a recipe for a pretty powerful reaction. Now, obviously, to keep the control group, aka Mom, from interfering, Zara came up with this brilliant cover story. She just rebrands the whole thing as cleaning science. I mean, that is a masterful use of jargon to make sure her experiment could go on. And then you have this moment. This is it. The mixture hits the warm water, it starts to fizz, and for a second, it looks like a huge success. For one brief, shining moment, Zara's hypothesis is totally confirmed. Science is awesome. But, as any scientist will tell you, a successful reaction isn't always a controlled one. And now we're going to look at the exact moment the experiment took a very rapid, very chaotic, and, well, very colorful turn. Okay, so our first piece of data comes straight from the test subject herself. Muffin's vocalization here shows she's pretty distressed. She's not thinking luxury spa treatment, she's thinking the place is haunted. This was really the first major sign that things were not going according to plan. And from there, things escalated fast. We entered what the file calls Phase 1, uncontrolled foam dispersion. Our subject, now totally covered in rainbow-colored foam, breaks containment and flees the lab, by which I mean the bathroom, and starts spreading the experimental results all over the house. Then we get this critical observation from the control group. Mom's totally horrified question gives us maybe the best description of the aftermath. Muffin wasn't a cat anymore. She was a bubblegum monster, which, is a little different from the intended disco ball look. So what do you do when you're faced with total catastrophic failure? Well, if you're Zara, you try to reframe the whole thing. She pivots and declares the result isn't a mistake at all. It's an innovation in feline style, scientifically stylish. Gotta say, that's a bold move, even if it's not super convincing. Okay, so after all that, what can we possibly learn from this very volatile experiment? It's time to wrap up our analysis and look at the real lessons from this foamy fiasco. Look, every scientific project, whether it works or not, has a lesson in it. So let's really break down the main takeaways from this particular case study. And this really shows you the huge gap between the idea and the reality, right? On one side, you've got this super ambitious goal, a cat that shines like a disco ball. And on the other side, you have the messy truth, a scientifically stylish bubblegum monster that's going to take a massive cleanup operation to fix. So what's the moral of the story here? Well, the source material really boils it down to this. When you mix science and cats,
you might actually discover some new chemistry, but you're also definitely going to discover a whole new kind of mess. And for the final word on all of this, who better to hear from than the test subject herself? Muffin's last statement here is both a powerful conclusion and, let's be honest, a warning to any future researchers. It kind of suggests a new protocol from here on out. Maybe peer review, or in this case, victim review, is pretty essential. The subject has officially seized control. And you know what? Maybe that's the most important finding of all.